Bamma USA, excuse me. He lost that belt because he missed weight. He's getting his chance to win that belt back in a vacant fight against Jesse Newell. But before that starts, fight number 1, Tommy Gavin versus Rudy Morales. Both fighters 0-1 in their professional careers. It's hard to believe we're at Badbeat 10. We should call it Badbeat X. Did you use Roman numerals like the Rocky movies here at Bamma, or is it numbers?
I only use it when I play golf. I yell IV when I'm about to tee off. How about that?
4. How's your golf game, Ron?
It's retired as it should be. We're looking at now Ruthless Rudy Morales from the Ruthless Fighting Team in Syndicate MMA. Said he's the first Guatemalan pro MMA fighter in the history to fight in the USA. He also says he's the undefeated champion of El Pollo Loco parking lot. For those of you who are not in Southern California, that is a restaurant chain, El Pollo Loco, the crazy chicken.
And a very, I guess, a very rough and tumble fight scene in the parking lots of El Pollo Loco.
I wonder if they have a drive-through, because that would be how I would go through.
Expedite the fighting. Drive-through MMA. That's something our own Brett Roberts hasn't thought of yet, the promoter of Bamma USA.
Drive-through MMA. Well, anything's possible. Says he likes to entertain the crowd and win. The second thing you think you'd hear from most fighters, right? But the first thing, I like that in an attitude of a fighter. Entertaining the crowd is part of the job. He's going to have that to do, and it's going to be a job. Not going to be an easy task against one Tommy Gavin from Tap Out and 10th Planet and Legends MMA and Black House. Tommy Gavin is essentially dipping into the buffet table of top training camps.
Well, in Southern California, you might as well take advantage of it. There's so many great places to train out here in Southern California. I mean, he just named off a fantastic list of places. That's not even half of the great training centers down here in Southern California. So if you have the opportunity to go a bunch of different places and learn from a lot of different schools and find different training partners, take advantage of it. I mean, you're dumb not to.
He's got Alan Joban in his corner, jiu-jitsu master right there you see of 10th Planet creator Eddie Bravo, also in the corner of Gavin.
And getting different looks, going to different gyms, there's a lot to be said for staying at the same gym. You have one coach that can really formulate a game plan for you. A lot of things are familiar, but it's good to go to different venues and different locales because you get different training partners who give you different looks, and it's also a little uncomfortable going to different places. Because when you fight in the Bamma USA cage, that's not the cage you train in every day. This isn't the venue that you train in every day. So you get used to going other places and trying to train and get you in the right mindset.
There's our tail of the tape. Now, according to the tail of the tape here, we're seeing 0-0 for Rudy Morales. According to his sheet, he says he's 0-1. Rarely do you see a fighter give themselves a loss they don't want to have. So I'm going to guess that Morales' numbers are accurate, but so 0-1 and 0-1. Mike Vale, introduce the combatants.
Let's get the action started. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. His official weight, 154 1/4 pounds. Training out of Syndicate MMA and Ruthless Fighting. Please welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Guatemala, Ruthless Rudy Morales. And now let's welcome his opponent across the cage in the red corner. Official weight, 154 3/4 pounds. Fighting out of Tap Out, 10th Planet, Black House, and Legends MMA. Let's welcome from Sydney, New York, Tommy Gavin.
Our official for this matchup between Gavin and Morales, the extremely classy and one of the coolest guys in the sport, Mr. Mike Beltran, also has hands down the best beard since ZZ Top.
Our own Yosemite Sam.
First round of action, Gavin in the black, Morales in the blue and white. And Morales is getting a crash course in defense 101. Gavin all over him.
Very clean double leg takedown by Gavin. Got him against the cage. Took him right down right away. Now moving into a half guard position. He's got the underhook with that far right arm. He's in the half guard on the left side. Did a really good position pushing him against the cage. Can do some damage with his left hand, his left elbow. Great start here for Gavin. 3-minute rounds in this lightweight contest.
Gavin now trapping the head. Looked like he was trying to set up maybe possibly a mounted guillotine from where he's going, but the cage a little bit in the way from the step over.
Yeah, tough position right here to do submissions because of that cage, like you mentioned. There's certainly plenty of things you can do there. You can go for a Kimura, leg locks, etc. But with that cage right there, you can really put your weight down on your opponent and just ground and pound. Wear him out, tire him out, do some damage, make him bleed, have fun. Oh, but he's going for that guillotine, it looks like. Very tough position with that, with just one leg trapped, but certainly possible.
Assess right now, RJ, what are the odds of him losing position by going for this before he's got it set up?
Well,
he's with Eddie Bravo, position before submission, right? That's the rule.
Always important, especially early in a round. You don't want to lose position for going for a dumb submission early on, but good aggressiveness. I mean, we saw Gavin start out so aggressive. It's no surprise he's going to go for submissions right away. Now it looks like he's diving in for a Darce choke. You can see his right arm going underneath the armpit and up through the neck. Still sitting onto a kind of a front headlock, going for a guillotine. This would be tough to get. Certainly possible, but I don't think he's going to get it.
Morales looking to use the cage, and he does the push off.
Morales scrambles out, back into full guard. Morales with an armbar attempt. That's loose. He's not going to get it.
Very cagey move by Morales. Yeah, he recovered guard, and then he went for the armbar because he saw it. Now trying to get back to his feet.
You can hear the smack. Great.
Wow. He did like a side kick from the ground, and then he did an up kick.
I was just going to compliment Gavin on those great leg kicks from the bottom, and Morales responds with just a roundhouse kick from the bottom, because normally you're looking for just a straight up kick and you're preparing for that. But when you come around the side like Morales did, that can really catch a guy off guard. And Gavin says, all right, none of that. I'll go back in the guard of Morales.
Let's keep in mind that on Morales' own sheet, written by his own hand, was not just wanting to win but entertain the crowd. If you've got the fundamentals of the sport down and you can do stuff technically that doesn't make you vulnerable from being too careless with freelancing, so to speak, with your style and technique, that's great entertainment. If he can throw kicks like that and he can still, keep himself out of harm's way.
Well, and he's mixing it up, too. I mean, he went for a takedown. He did some ground and pound, went for a submission. He was doing some up-down position, kicking the legs. Now he's just sitting in the guard of Morales, not really staying too active. Morales is doing a pretty good job of keeping Gavin from posturing up so he can make space and go for some ground and pound.
10 seconds left in the first round. This is three-minute rounds this is scheduled for. Again, Gavin in the black, Morales in the blue and white.
And Gavin lets him up right before the bell. I guess he wanted to get a jump start on walking over to his corner. Clearly a 10-9 round for Gavin. He showed a really good mixed martial arts set. Morales hanging tough on bottom, didn't get submitted. Went for that, that fancy up kick, roundhouse kick hybrid, but clearly a round in favor of Gavin.
I think Morales did something that is the best case scenario for a guy if you're not going to give him the actual round, and you did. You clearly saw this as a Gavin round. But he did the one thing that you need to do in the opening round, if you don't win it, even though you want to, is that he made himself known as a viable threat to steal the fight, to win the fight, and someone not to take lightly, because he kept Gavin on his game, so to speak. He made him know that he can't sleep on him.
Well, and Gavin on the flip side showed a lot of offense, and Morales now knows, all right, he can take me down. He's going to go for submissions. He's going to go for ground and pound. He could let me up. He can kick my legs. He can go for guillotines. I mean, he kept Morales on the defensive the entire time by always attacking. Defense isn't the best offense in mixed martial arts. Offense is the best offense and defense in mixed martial arts. And we got a timeout by the referee. I don't know if there's water on the floor.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of little moisture. The canvas, for those of you who may or may not know, if you're new to the fight game, watching the sport now, canvas gets a little bit slippery, especially in MMA when they're in there barefoot. Someone could try to throw something, slip, fall, lose their balance, get hurt, which is tragic for both the athlete and for the fight fans, because then that fight could be over for something that had nothing to do with it.
Yep.
Second round of action. Tommy Gavin out of 10th Planet. He's in the black. The blue and white, that is Ruthless Rudy Morales. Wanted to represent Guatemala as their first mixed martial artist of note. I think he's doing a good job so far.
A lot of movement by Gavin. We got the southpaw versus the standard stance of Rudy Morales.
We're seeing a chapter in this game so far now in the second round that we hadn't seen in the first round, and now we're back to the first round chapter right there, which was up on their feet.
And it was just a matter of time before Gavin shot in for another takedown. Instead of the double leg, he went for sort of a low single off of the Morales kick, and now he's back in the full guard of Morales, I believe, right where he wants to be. Now he's going to work try to work some ground and pound, maybe pass, and go for those guillotines again. You can hear his corner yelling, pass, pass. When you're in the guard of your opponent, there's basically no submissions whatsoever. You can ground and pound, but if a guy's going to be on his back, Morales is exactly where he wants to be, holding Gavin down. You can see his swiveling his hips back and forth, thinking about going for submissions, keeping Gavin from really being able to do some damage.
How much does an active guard like that count on the scorecard, do you think, versus just laying there in a closed guard and trying to hold him? Do they get any?
History has proven it is extremely difficult to win rounds off your back. And even then, Morales was swiveling his hips, but he wasn't really going for submission. So
that's true.
Right now, Gavin's in the driver's seat so far in this round, just based on the takedown and the control.
3-3-minute rounds. So this round ticking down to its final minute. Morales got to do something to turn up the heat here.
Another kick thrown, another kick caught by Gavin, another takedown. That's one of the easiest, least energy used takedowns in mixed martial arts. Catching a guy on a kick, because when you're throwing a kick, you're heaving so much of your power forward and you're leaning back a little bit. It's very good for Muay Thai and striking, very bad for counter wrestling. Very easy to get the takedown. A lot of guys, when they go for takedowns, they'll fight for a double leg, and the guy will sprawl, and there'll be a battle right there, and they'll finally get the takedown. When he gets on top, he's a little tired from doing it. When you can get a takedown off of a kick easily, and you're on top and fresh, that can be very dangerous for the bottom guy.
30 seconds just about left now in the second round.
And that is correct. It is 3 3-minute rounds. Some states do have that option to be 3-minute rounds instead of 5. California is one of them.
We're all about conservation here in California. Final seconds ticking down. 15 left in the round. This is round number 2. So far, Gavin being selfish on the scorecards. By that, I mean winning them and not sharing any of the glory so far with Morales. Morales looking good in this fight, but just not enough offense. He's been forced to counter Gavin almost the entire time, and not even on his back at this point. Just in general, he's been reactive, not proactive.
And Gavin, ever since the original flurry, has been content getting takedowns, getting on top, winning the rounds. He's clearly up 20-18 right now. Morales has to think of something. He has to know he's down 2-1. He can't win this fight by winning the round. He's got to go for a finish somehow. But he might be running out of options, because if he's going for a knockout of Gavin, those body kicks aren't working because he just keeps getting taken down by him. If he closes the gap too much, Gavin goes for the takedown, and Morales hasn't shown a lot off his back. So I'm very curious to see what Morales' corner is telling him right now. It's got to be go for broke. He's got to know he's down 2-0. But we'll see. We'll see what it's going to be.
This is a scenario that I call fight number 2. Because essentially everything from Morales that has happened up until this point doesn't matter.
Yep.
He's not going to win off the scorecards, most likely. He's probably behind on the cards. He needs to win this fight like it's a one-round fight and finish it.
And we'll see what Gavin does. Does he coast the last round knowing he's up 20-18, or does he go for the finish? And how will that affect the strategy of Morales? We'll find out right now.
And final round, 3x3, 3-minute rounds here. Gavin in the black with some white trim, and the blue and white, that's Rudy Morales. Both guys touting an 0-1 record, despite the initial tail of the tape. 0-1 for both guys. So they're both, somebody's going into the win column tonight, and they're both fighting for that spot. Gavin just making a little bit more of a bold case for it at this point. And not a blowout fight, by the way, for those of you who are purely just hearing us and maybe perhaps not seeing the fight. Not a blowout. It's a close matchup. The thing is that just consistently with pressure and with offense, Gavin's
and a great knee by Morales, and Gavin's going to be out. This fight is over.
Until that.
I was just going to say, Morales was feinting that knee. That is one of the best counters to a straight outside shot, throwing a knee and timing it perfectly right when your opponent is shooting, and Morales did it to a T. What a fantastic come-from-behind knockout win in bout number 1 of Bamma USA Badbeat 10.
If I could have that kind of a change in luck when I talked about things in life, things would be great. In the moment, I was just saying that not enough offense out of Morales, and then that happens.
Sometimes that was the entire offense of Morales.
Well,
1 knee and 2 hammer fists to finish, and that's all it took to win.
He, to use the casino analogy that we're in tonight, he dealt himself a one-round, one-fight option. That's all he had. He had to win the fight in that round. No judges, no previous 2 rounds. That was it, and he made it happen.
That was his ace in the hole. He was feinting that knee slightly. I thought he was bringing up that knee, Morales, to make Gavin more wary and make him think, hey, I may throw a knee if you shoot in, to keep Gavin from shooting in. But instead, he just used that knee for the knockout. Gavin didn't take the hint, and it cost him a fight, and he is still down. The doctors are looking at him. His cornermen are looking at him. Hopefully he's okay. Here it is again, an outside shot by Gavin. He was giving away his hand. Boom. Perfect timing by Morales. Finishes up with 2 hammer strikes, and Mike Beltran, the referee, runs in and stops it.
That was like watching a linebacker trying to take down a freight train. I mean, it was just running full speed. Gavin had momentum going. Just Morales saw it.
And Gavin had the recipe for success, right? The first 2 rounds, shoot some takedowns, or time a kick, get the takedown, get on top.
Right.
And Morales adjusted fantastic. He defended the first takedown because Gavin got a little greedy, shot too far away. He defended. And as soon as Gavin dove in for the second takedown, Morales was waiting and waiting with a knee sandwich right to the jaw of Gavin.
Yeah, there was no – I understand exactly what you're saying. There was no hint of that knee as a possibility prior to when it happened. It was literally lightning in a bottle. He did it the one time he needed to do it, and it worked. And here it is again. Gavin with the pressure, just that time when he dropped, there was a knee to greet him like the concierge, and out he goes. Well, on behalf of mixed martial arts and I believe the folks in Guatemala that he wanted to represent so proudly, congratulations. He did a great job. That was resilient. That was tough. He stayed in a fight that he was not winning. He went into the last round behind on the scorecards, and he had no hint of discouragement in that round at all.
And he wasn't, like you said, discouraged. He wasn't thrown off by it. He learned from the first 2 rounds. He adjusted. That's very impressive for a guy with only 1 professional fight at 0-1. That's very, very impressive to be able to make those adjustments in just 6 minutes of fighting and to pull off a fantastic win like that. Rudy Morales landed 3 strikes this entire fight. That knee, 2 follow-up hammer fists when he was already knocked out, and that's all it took for him to win. He was batting 1,000 with his strikes.
Ruthless Rudy Morales. Now, I'm going to say 1-1 based on what he had on his own sheet for his record at 0-1 prior. He did what he had to do when he had to do it, the only way he was able to do it. And it looks exciting.
And it looks like Tommy Gavin's okay. He's up walking around. He's conscious. He's going to have a nice mouse over his left eye for a while.
Mike Bell's going to give us the official word on that mouse and what happened to cause it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout ends at 41 seconds of round number 3. Referee Mike Beltran stops this bout for your winner by knockout, Ruthless Rudy Morales.
Ruthless Rudy Morales takes away the win. I don't know about Claude and Scratch, but he certainly need his way to the top in that one.
Well, Be First Clothing is kind enough to sponsor the KO of the night and submission of the night. We are less than 7 minutes into the evening of actual fight time. We may have our KO of the night already.
Yeah, I submit that might be the KO of the night.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we still got 8 fantastic fights left. Obviously, the rest of the card, if they're going for that KO of the night bonus, they got their work cut out for them.